Hello, today we're going to be doing LeetCode problem number 160, which is intersection of two linked lists. The problem states, given the heads of two singly linked lists, head A and head B, return the node at which the two lists intersect. And if they don't intersect, return null. So in this example here, pretty self-explanatory, they intersect at C1. So the first list is A1, A2, C1, C2, C3. The second list is B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3. Then it goes into talking about this custom judge, which is just the values that the judge is going to use to determine the solution. So this intersect value is going to be, where the two nodes, the two linked lists intersect, the two lists, and then how many nodes are before the intersection. So in this case it's 2, in this case it's 3. So none of this really matters for us, it's just extra information. So example 1 is similar to what we saw in the example above, 4, 1, 8, 5, 6, 1. The intersects at 8. And the solution here, or the explanation, is basically just going through saying, well, there's 3 nodes before the intersect here and 2 here. Like, we don't, it doesn't really matter. Here, this is just looking at the graph and figuring out, hey, the 2 is where these two intersect. So, and then this doesn't have an intersection, so returns null. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get rid of the node cases. So if head A, if that list is null, or head B is null, then we're just going to return null. Easy peasy. Otherwise, we're going to traverse through these lists. So we're going to do list node A is going to be equal to head, the current value of head A. And list node B is going to be equal to head B. All right, so really all we need to do here is, the way this is going to work is we're going to traverse head A and then we're going to compare the first node of head A with the first node of head B. And then we're going to get all the way to the end. And then when we run out of nodes, we're going to, let's say head A has 3 nodes. So when we hit the third node, after that, we're going to switch and assign it to the first node in B. So basically, we're just going to reverse the linked lists and then go through the whole thing again until we find 2 numbers that match up. And I'll debug this too, which will explain it a little better. So while A is not equal to B, so this is where we're going to loop through all these until we find 2 that match. So A is going to be equal to if A equals null, so we're going to do this shorthand. So if A equals null, then we assign it to head B, like I talked about. Otherwise, we're just going to do A next. And we'll do the same thing here. We'll do this shorthand. B, this is just the syntax for it. So this is saying if B equals null, we're going to assign the value to head A, the value B to head A. Otherwise, we're just going to assign it B next. And then eventually this will come back with a solution, and that will be in A. And so we'll just return A. And that's pretty much it. Easy peasy. So let's debug this and see if we can't understand it a little better. Okay, so for my solution, I used the first example, which down here we have 41845 and 561,845. So the intersection should be the number 8. So if we go through this, both of them are not null. We'll assign list node A equal to head A and list node B equal to head B. So if you look here, the value 4, which is the first value in head A, and the value 5, which is the first value in head B. So A is not equal to B, which it is not. A is not null, so we're just going to assign it to A next. And the same thing for Same thing for B. So if you look at A now, should be the next value is the 1. And then the next value of, I can do it down here actually, next value 1, next value 6. So do this again, go through, and now we should be at 8 and 1. So we look up here, yep, value 8 in A and the value 1. I'll just keep going through here, we get 4 and 5, right, 4 and 8. And then we should get 5 and 4, value 5, value 4. All right, now we've got a null value in A, so it's going to return, well actually this is, so it's, that assigned it to null right there. So now the B is now the 5, which is the last value in headB. So now here, this is true, A is null, so now we're going to assign it to the first value in headB. So we look here, it's the value 5, which is the first value in headB, and the B is null. So now we go through here, assign that to the next value, and now, so now if you look at head A should be the 6, right? Yep. And then B should be the value 4, which is the first value in head A. All right, A is not equal to B, so we're going to go through this again. Now we've got 1, and we've got 1 and 1. So now we're going through here, and look at there. We've got 8, and we've got 8. So now these are equal. So then we're going to break out that loop and pass back the 8. And that is our answer. Okay, so let's run this and see if I did it correctly. I did miss a closing brace there, so I added that. We'll run it, and then we'll submit it. Ooh, faster than 98% and 95. So in other solutions, they basically get the length of each list and parse through it that way. But with this solution, we don't care about the length of each of the lists. So I think this is a better solution. So the time complexity on this is O of n. We just have the one while loop that we go through, and then O of 1. We don't really need any more space. We're just parsing through 2 linked lists. And that is it. So let me know if you have questions. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.